All right, here we go. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Loan Officer Breakfast Club on a fantastic Thursday, April 10th, 2025, my friends. Not a lot going on in the mortgage industry these days, not at all. But we got Owen Lee here anyway, just to, talk about stuff, even though there's really not a lot to talk about with rates or anything like that. So, we just thought, why not? It's part of the routine, so we'll bring him on anyway. But anyway, good morning, everybody. Good to have you here. Who do we got? Let's see. Gilbert Barber's here. Wow, good, man. Good to have you here, brother. Thanks. Yeah, give us a wave. Yep, good to see you there. All right, let's get the sisters going. Vicky Porter is in the house. Good stuff. Right on. Good to see you, Vicky. Yeah. Got Nick Nicholas. I heard Nick's having a great month this month. Wow, congratulations, bro. Good stuff, man. Excellent work. Yeah, he's killing it. Hey, obviously we got Owen Lee here in the house today. It's always fun to have you, Owen. Thanks for showing up once again, my friend. But on a special note, though, we do have to spotlight Carl White because he is indeed in a Daytona parking lot at the Speedway, right, Carl? Talk to us, brother. What's going on?
I just want to see what this car will do. There's a true story. You can actually come to Daytona, and they have certain days of the year where you can bring your own private car and get on the racetrack and run some laps.
Nice. Excellent. Yeah, good stuff.
I wasn't for it. Maria insisted. And I was like,
yeah, of course.
What are you going to do?
I'm sure she did.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, what are you going to do? Hey, Carl, you got Vicky Porter, who I called out this morning. She lives in Daytona. You're right in Vicky Porter's town. Yeah.
Wow.
While we're talking about
my guess is we'll probably have her drive it. We'll probably do a better time if
better
she
job.
drives it. So,
indeed.
We'll have you come out here. So, yeah.
All right. Well, hey, let's get to some wins, man. I'd love to get some wins going before, just get the juices flowing and warm up the chat a little bit. Say good morning to us, everybody. Hey, man, if you're here for the first time, we'd love to know that as well. Give us a hello in the chat. Let us know where you're at. Maybe how long you've been in the business, that sort of deal. And but yeah, we should get to some wins. I think just some wins from it's Thursday for this week so far. Anybody got anything cool they want to share, like some good wins, working the plan, anything like that? Okay, Teresa. Yeah, go ahead. Give us a win. What do you got?
So working a past database, being consistent about it. I got two new referrals
Really?
yesterday, and already got them worked and pre-approved. And also yesterday was a huge win again because I got to meet Steve Kyles in person. And
I'm going to give you a big cheer for that.
Yes.
Oh, darn, I hit the wrong button. That was an accident.
Maybe not.
Yeah, at the Bankers Association, and Sarah Cox and some other people from Breakfast Club. And
nice.
Picked up some new ideas about knowing your numbers. So it was a great day. Yes.
Hey, so tell me just a little bit. Let's linger a little on the referrals from the past client database. Can you give some details on that? Like, how did the call go? Was it a direct loan from them? Or did they refer someone to you? What was it? What transpired?
One was a referral. I originally built my niche as being a doctor loan specialist. So as a part of my database and on the Wednesday calls, her database calls, I have that list, and I have been calling just, if I didn't get to talk to them, I just leave a message. Who do you know, friends, family that are looking to buy a refinance? Please share my contact information with them. So I got two referrals from that list of calls yesterday, and I dialed 68 calls. I spoke to 9 people, but I left that message with still saying, who do you know, friends, family, coworkers that are looking to buy, sell, or refinance, please share my contact information with them. So I got 2 referrals. One is a construction to perm loan for a one-time close, and the other is a second home purchase. So working that database, talking to people, even if you don't get to talk to them and you leave a message, they know, like you, and trust you already, and you've done business with them in the past. Because the one was a client that I closed in 2019 on their primary residence. Now they're looking for an investment property in Cary, North Carolina. And so, yeah, I got them pre-approved, taken care of. And the construction, the perm, again, was from a past client who referred me for a customer for construction to perm, and already got them pre-approved and taken care of. So it's all about staying consistent, making those phone calls. Even if you don't get to talk to anybody, just leave the message, Hey, I'm
Yeah.
just checking in to see how you're doing. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your special moment with your home purchase, and wanted you to know I was thinking about you, but also, who do you know that is looking? So yes, it's a great
Dang,
thing.
man. What a great way to open the show. What do you think,
Yeah,
Carl?
Teresa.
You know what I mean? It's like so good. Yeah, you'd leave those voicemails. That's like marketing equity in a referral bank. That's what it is, man. You got to leave the voicemails. And just the fact that you're making the calls. I mean, kudos.
Yeah,
I mean, end of the day, Teresa, if you didn't make those calls, what do you think you would have got?
nothing.
That's right, sister. Absolutely nothing.
And I have
Yes.
learned, even though you don't get to talk to someone, leave that message anyway.
That's right. Yeah.
Just
Good
because they
stuff.
don't answer, don't don't forget to leave the message. Leave the message anyway. Who do
Yeah.
you know, or that's looking to buy, sell, or refinance, or who I've even been asking from my fears of influence. Who do you know that I need to know in the Fort
Mm-hmm.
Worth market area?
Well, we were talking about that on the Call Stars Blitz as being real direct with that, right? Really crafting that call to action. Like, who do you know right now that I can talk to instead of just, hey, if you come across somebody, let me know, right? No, but actually saying, who do you know right now? Good
Right.
stuff. Excellent.
And
Great
I learned
job.
all that from y'all.
Well, I know you meant me in that, so that's right. All right, good stuff, man. Well, hey guys, you know what? Thanks for that win and all that. That was great. Kristen? What do you think? Great way to open the show today, right?
I mean, yeah, that was fantastic.
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh,
Francis Garay,
I'm sorry about that.
stop it.
Yeah. So anyway, you were saying.
I'm not
You're-
talking now. No.
If you're getting value from this already, go ahead and tap that like button. It helps more loan officers find content that actually makes a difference. And hey, if staying ahead of the market and learning what's really working in our industry matters to you, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you don't miss another episode. We read every comment, so drop your thoughts down below. We'd love to hear from you and know what's working or what you'd like us to cover next. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you here next time. All right. Well, what do you guys say? Not a lot going on with rates or the mortgage market or anything like that, but we thought we'd bring on Owen Lee anyway. So let's get to Owen Lee of the mortgage market update, my friends. Owen, are you still in D.C. or where are you at these days?
No, I'm back. I'm in Detroit. I flew home last night after 4 days in D.C. for the National Advocacy Conference. For those of you that see me on LinkedIn, or if you want to hit me up on LinkedIn, we posted every day. We had about 425 mortgage professionals. Have 285 meetings on Capitol Hill yesterday.
Wow.
Did 6 meetings myself, and it was fantastic. And it's I don't want to get corny. I'm not trying to be over the top or anything like that, but it really is cool. There are not a lot of countries on the face of the earth where you can go into the place where laws are made and you have a right to do so and, talk to the lawmakers about what you like and what you don't like. And it was great. It was really great.
Makes you feel real American when you do something like that, doesn't it?
It does.
Isn't it cool?
Does.
Yeah, you go in there, you actually do that. That's pretty epic.
What we get to do as an industry is pretty gosh damn cool, I think.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why I love it so much. I mean, when you look at the statistics about home ownership and the wealth it creates and how it helps people from generation to generation, we're not brain surgeons and we're not landing on the moon. But what we get to do is way cooler than most.
Yeah.
So
very cool.
Anyway, yeah. So, and I was going to talk about some of the meetings that I had and some of my time in Washington, D.C. But oh my gosh, the market. Holy heck. I don't even know what to say. Jen, we got a couple of slides. We can throw up the first one.
Yep.
So yesterday was one of the craziest days I've ever seen. So just to recall, yesterday's Wednesday. On Tuesday, we were having the best market days we've ever had until Friday at about noon, when Treasury Secretary Powell went to the podium and said, we're going to be data dependent. We're not cutting. We need to find out what's going on. And that refrain, I understand why he says it, because the market doesn't believe him when he says it, and so he keeps saying it at every opportunity. But it's a little stale. And the reason why I say that is because all of the data that he points to is, by definition, after the fact when it comes out. So the U.S. economy is the Titanic times 5. I mean, it's the most gigantic freighter in the world. And it doesn't drive like a speedboat. It doesn't drive like Carl White's going to drive at Daytona. It drives like a motorhome. And so you got to start to turn it way before you need to turn. And so anyway, so the market started to crash. Friday afternoon, horrible. Monday, horrible. Tuesday, horrible. Wednesday opens down 30 basis points, gets to down 95. And then, I don't know if it was Trump or he posted Truth Social with Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, that they're pausing the tariffs and they're dropping it to 10%. And, oh my gosh, the rallies all the way back, 92 basis points to finish down 3. And depending upon what coupon you follow, we're up about 40 to 45 basis points first thing this morning. So we've gained 130 basis points in pricing in the past 5 or 6 business hours. And who knows how long it will last. So you can see this yesterday. This is, really like a one-day chart, just to kind of show yesterday, yesterday, including that left half. You see the line down the center of the chart. That was yesterday. You see it down 90, comes all the way back in a single day. This is wild. I mean, this is the kind of stuff happens the day Bear Stearns goes broke, or General Motors declares bankruptcy, or, the Federal Reserve announces they're buying mortgage-backed securities. Just stuff you don't see every day. And actually, Jen, can we get to the next slide? So here's where we are for about the last 5 or 6 days. We see it going up, we see it going up, we see it going up, and then we get to Friday afternoon, and then we start coming down. We've gone up, and then we're up another 40 to 50 basis points this morning, again, depending upon what coupon. The CPI inflation number came out much lower than expected. Annual year-over-year inflation fell from 2.8% down to 2.4% in the last month. That's a large decline. Again, the Fed's target is 2%. I was at I did a 1-hour session with Mike Frantantoni, the chief economist of the NBA. He's now predicting that unemployment is going to go up to 5% by the end of the year. You saw it tick up, even though we had a big number. You saw it tick up to 4.2% at the end of last month. So, I mean, if we get 5% unemployment and 2 to 2.5% income growth, I think you're going to see bonds come down. And so, but I'll just say this last thing before we get to another article and another look. This is exactly why we talk about prospecting. I know I'm starting to talk about a broken record, but life is a series of sprints in the mortgage industry right now. And you've got these fits and starts and these periods of time, like last Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, when you want to be on your people. You're going to get people who, okay, it's down to 6.5 or it's down to 6.25. You can go shop for a home right now, or you found a home. Let's lock you in. The cash out refi makes so much sense for you right now. You got to have those people in the hopper. And the only way you do it, and look at, then it looks like we're falling off a cliff, but the purchases are still strong. And now we're back down again. So there's no substitute for continual prospecting. I don't know. Is this going to last 3 days? Is it going to last 89 days because they did a 90-day pause? Anybody who says they know is lying. And so if you keep your nose to the grindstone, if you keep going, then you're really going to benefit from those times because you're a sprinter. You already have your track shoes on and you're already in the starter block. So when the pistol goes off, you're ready to go. Not everybody else is. Just a couple of fun things we have too, Jen, if you want to look at it. Now, this is before that gigantic rally yesterday at noon. So I had everything prepared. I was on a plane yesterday afternoon, but this is just an MBA chart that we did talking about, you can see the zero line there. And look at the worldwide stock market. I mean, China goes down 5%. Who really knows if that's true or if it's manipulated or, whatever. Germany, Canada, UK, all down 8-9%. United States down 15%. Japan down almost 20%. And then it comes back. Now we're down 600 basis points, 600 on the Dow, I think, to open this morning. So it's just, I've never seen anything like it. So what does that mean for interest rates? So I found this article on Market Watch. There's a lot of similar views. There's a lot of unanimity about where experts think rates are going. Bank rate, here's 4 different experts. Bank rate, it says we're going to stay between 6.5 and 7. The chief financial officer of Bank Rate, a senior economist at Zillow, thinks we're going to mid-6 by the end of the year. Okay, that's essentially exactly the same prediction. And then we've got the National Association of Realtors. It says we're experiencing the lowest rate in several months. Give it a shot to go out there. He's at about 6.5. Jen, I think we lost our chart there.
I'm not sure how she got there.
And then we had a fourth who's essentially also predicting about 6.5 over at NerdWallet. I will tell you that the Mortgage Bankers Association is revising its forecast. It's going to predict that purchases go up a little bit and that cash out refis between now and the end of the year are going to go up by about $300 to $400 billion. That's some rate and term, mostly cash out, but you really see the applications for that stuff take off when you can get between 6.5 and 6. And it was just funny because Mike Fratantoni, the chief economist who I did the session with in Washington, D.C., is a friend of mine, and he prepared this late last week, and then it comes on, and the market's going crazy in the wrong direction. I saw him yesterday before I got on a plane, and he's like, thank God my forecast is saved. They're just doing the best they can. I mean, they just don't know. So, but I think that 6.5-ish, I'm very excited about that. If we could get a year at 6.5, we haven't had we didn't have that in 2022. Fall of 2022, we're up over 8%. Yeah. Spent most of the year between 7 and 7.5 the last 2 years, with that exception of late August, early September. My goodness, if we can get to mid-6, let alone low 6s, we're going to be on fire. And everybody who's doing something like Call Stars or the Alliance or continual prospecting, you are going to benefit from it. Jen, I think we had one more slide. Maybe not. I don't know. I thought there was one more, but yeah. Okay. So that gives us 4 experts all predicting 6.5. MBA coming in with a bit of improvement. They're a little bit lower, but we're seeing it right now. We saw that good inflation number, which was lower than expected, that just came out about 20 minutes ago. Who knows? It's going to be up. It's going to be down. But our lives right now are a series of sprints, and you got to be in the starting blocks.
I like that. I like that analogy of it. Hey, Kristen, anything in the chat to bring up? Have you been watching it all?
You know, Owen, I think one thing.
You're muted,
I think one thing
sister.
that we have to be. I think one thing that we have to be careful of is like when we do our pre-approvals, we want to make sure that we give a safety margin range when we're approving them for their purchase amount. You know, that not locking in on the end of yesterday's rates, but maybe bumping it up. I don't know, 0.5%, maybe even 1%, just to be on the safe side.
So 2 things that I would say is there is no substitute for honest conversation with your borrower right now, because you have to have a conversation with them about what realistic is in the marketplace right now, which is it could go down, it could go up, it could go up by 0.25%, it could go up by 3/8, or you might have to bring an extra 0.5 point to the closing table in order to keep the same rate. And then if it goes down, I promise you, you'll look like a genius. The other thing I would say, and Carl, you and I talk about this frequently, I know we're preaching this to your team, is for goodness sakes, if you're at an intersection where you have a rate and the borrower can pay it and is satisfied with it, lock it in. Because that conversation with your secondary department about possible float down or how good it is or whatever is a heck of a lot easy than calling them back and saying, I'm sorry, it's been 6 business hours. We've had a 90 basis point swing in pricing. I mean, that's just where we're at, right? So there's no substitute and no excuse for not having that honest conversation with your client. You've got to have it. So got to have it.
Cool. All right, Kristen, you're lit up now. So what you got?
Muted myself. Sorry. So,
and I didn't sad trombone you. Just want to point it out.
I appreciate that.
We're pals.
Yeah. Okay. But
Frank's getting a little quick with that sad trombone.
I'm saying he's enjoying that.
He really is.
Yeah.
He's like the homeowner association president. You know what I'm saying?
if you put your trash out, if you put your trash out 1 minute before 6 p.m., Frank's gonna catch you. So any news, Owen, about the emergency meeting by the FOMC?
I think yesterday what happened was this. So the bond market was going crazy yesterday. Mortgage-backed securities up now. Now, this is crazy on top of crazy, right? Because by any historical standards, what happened Friday afternoon, what happened on Monday, what happened on Tuesday was going nuts. There's all kinds of theories on the internet and even some published by CNBC, by the Wall Street Journal, by respected news outlets that that China was selling all their treasuries, that Japan was selling all their treasuries, that and to get them to stop, there was going to have to be a reversal of the tariffs, or the Federal Reserve was going to announce that they were going to start buying them, which is the last thing in the world they wanted to do.
Hey, Google, what is today's date?
If anybody says they know what happened inside that FOMC meeting, I don't believe it, right? I think they were just sitting there watching their monitors and saying, what's the breaking point where we have to step in to calm the market? And they didn't have to get there. because they announced the 90-day pause. So,
anything else, Kristen?
Not really, just a lot of people like thanking Owen, by the way. Just a lot of people saying thank you, Owen, for breaking it down for us and just talking about, just reemphasizing, if you like it, lock it.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the best honest conversations, and lock them the second they make sense. That's my advice for a market, because anybody who says they know what's happening right now, I don't believe them.
And if you follow Owen on LinkedIn, yesterday about 1:00, he said buy Tesla stock, and so I think it went up like 20% yesterday. 20%. So you might want to follow Owen.
Yeah, and then
I'm just going out on a limb here.
I sold at 440. I'm just 440, 441.
Yeah, that's right. Crazy.
Awesome.
So I did have some posts from the Capitol yesterday. I was in Washington, D.C. Just saying, maybe watch for some trigger leads news.
Okay.
Possible when I was walking around the halls of Congress yesterday.
All right.
That might be something we might want to chat about next week.
I like it. Well, I think we're all interested in that. Hey, Jen, can you throw the slides in, the PDF download for everybody into the chat, please? People are asking about that. Yes, you are here. There they are. There's the PowerPoint right there for y'all. It's in the chat. You can download it, and that's one of the privileges of being here on the live show. You get the downloads. That's how we're doing this now. So congratulations to all of you. And, Carl, I got a question for you. With all this volatility and everything we had, this whole conversation today, and today's pre-approved and looking day, right? So today we're doing pre-approved and lookings. These conversations for our pre-approved and lookings, based on everything everybody's seeing, are these any different? Is it a little, what do you think about this? Yeah.
A little bit. And I couldn't agree with Owen more about having honest conversation. But I can tell you what I would say, if I was, when you're calling your pre-approved looking, like the idea of the pre-approved looking is to gently alleviate their fears. And as long as it's in their best interest, of course, getting them to move forward, right? That's the whole idea. That's why real estate agents want to recommend you if you help them close a deal, as long as it's in the buyer or the borrower's best interest, of course, right? That's without saying. And so I think it'd be a conversation of, hey, if you're looking to buy something, and maybe you don't like the color of the front door of a house, maybe we just kind of overlook the color of the front door, because we can always paint that and make the move now while it's really good. There's a lot of volatility going on. I'm not going to pretend to estimate what it's going to be tomorrow, the next week, or 6 months from now. But I know this tariff thing is on a 90-day pause. Who knows what's going to happen in between that time? If you find something you're looking at this weekend, and it's not just absolutely perfect, don't let perfection stand in the way of your progress of getting your first home. Remember, this isn't your last home. This is your first home. Remember, this isn't your primary home. This is your investment home. Remember, this isn't your primary home. It's your second home. Whatever conversation fits the bill is just, again, you don't want them to buy something they don't want. I'm not suggesting that, but we all know we make compromises when we buy houses. And with somewhere around 37% of the market being a first-time home buyer, they're just afraid. And so if you just kind of help alleviate their fears and tell them now's the good time, a lot of volatility, let's go ahead and get something locked in, that would be my conversation.
I like what you said, Carl, because you said, there is this 90-day tariff hold thing going on. So, and then everything that Owen brought up today, everybody's predicting we're going to be in that 6.5 range, right? So it's probably this is a good moment to probably try and find that place, get something locked in. Good advice. Yeah. I think that's a good angle for today. Yeah.
Good stuff. Right?
Yeah. Good stuff, brother. All right. Well, anybody else got anything? Anyone want to raise a hand and ask a question real quick before we get out of here? We know what we're doing today, right? Pre-approved and lookings, obviously.
What a handsome guy.
Oops, how did that happen? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Hey, you know what? Here's the deal. I'm good with it. I know everybody else is good with it. I know everybody else is just like, thank God he's finally been spotlighted. So
I just took a screenshot so I have a picture now, a new picture to put under my pillow. So thank you, Frank.
Indeed. In fact, let's just pause for a moment so everyone can get a screenshot. All right, pre-approved and looking today, guys. Call your pre-approved and lookings. Don't forget, you call the borrower and the co-borrower. And then what do we do? What do we do after that? Anybody? I can wait in awkward silence, too. It's really great. See, Paul pays me no matter what. What?
The lead.
Touch the agent.
Touch the partner.
Ask for the business.
Boy, look at all these things popping out.
Yeah.
Touch the lead, touch the partner, and ask for the business. You got it, my friend. That's exactly what we do. Mr.
Don't
Owen
forget
Lee.
to call the co-borrower.
Krista,
Don't
say
forget
that
to call
again.
Don't forget to call the co-borrower. They're just as important.
They really
They know
are.
different people.
That's good point. Gosh
Good
darn
point.
it. And that's why we do that, isn't it? It's totally true. Because if you have a two borrower situation, one might absolute referral person, right? Like I love to refer. The other one might not be. And you might be calling the wrong one.
The one might be in the grocery store next to somebody talking about a house.
Mm-hmm.
Call the title company. Don't forget to call the title company.
Well, this is
They have
pre-approved and
open
looking.
doors for me.
We don't have title company today. It's pre-approved and looking.
Title's Tuesday.
But I'm still calling, making sure I call the title company too.
Awesome stuff. All right, you guys have a great day, man. Hey, before we go, Chris Johnstone, what are we doing tomorrow?
Okay, so tomorrow we're going to
Yeah.
talk tactical about when you have these messages to send. Oh my.
Blown off the Breakfast Club t-shirt. Yeah, baby.
But how to use AI to craft your messages quickly, right? How to put a professional message together for your database to send it out. And then tactically, how do you do a quick broadcast when the market is changing and you want to update all of the realtors that you have in your database?
That's
you want to
good.
go to everybody that's in your database. How do you quickly and effectively and professionally communicate with all those people? And we're just going to go through and have a discussion on how to do that.
Ooh, I love it. That's going to be epic. That'd be nice. So you can put that together really quick, hit a button, it's out, and you're the guy that's on top of everything. Or
That's
gal.
it. First.
Right.
How was your wrist?
That's
How was the
tomorrow.
wrist?
What's that?
How was his wrist?
Oh,
Yeah.
So my ribs, my wife is still convinced that they're broken, and I'm starting to side more on the side of my wife. I went and got an x-ray. They said everything was fine, but I don't know. So thank you for asking. That's so kind.
All right. Good stuff. Okay, guys. Well, let's get out of here. You guys have a great day. We'll be back here tomorrow, Chris Johnstone. I can't wait to see that. That's going to be epic, man. Be sure to show up for that. Owen Lee, as always, thank you, my friend. Always a pleasure.
Yes,
Hope you guys
sir.
have a fantastic day.
Yes,
Pre-approved and
sir.
looking day. Pre-approved and looking day, you guys. Make the call. You know what to say. You've been armed. You're equipped. You guys have a great day. We'll catch up with you later here at the Loan Officer Breakfast Club, my friends. And until then, we'll see you guys. Have a great one. Adios. Bye-bye.
Have a great day, everybody.